Welcome to Only One of Me. My name's Kim, a certified energy therapist, and I'm here to take you on a journey into the world of holistic therapies where the metaphysics meets the science. In this podcast, you'll meet real people doing the real work in this space, sharing their lived experiences and their wisdom. So let's dive in. Today's very special guest is someone who has been in the industry for years. She is a clinical reflexologist. She's a Reiki Master trainer. She practices energy healing and also holistic therapies treating the mind. I'm so very glad to welcome for our first edition of Only One of Me, Tracey from Flourish, Mind, Body, Soul. I'd love to welcome a very dear friend of mine, one of the ladies who has been quite instrumental in me, helping me along in my journey and certainly setting the road for a lot of laughs and a lot of fun and, got through the tears and the joys and everything over the years, is Tracey Child from Flourish, Mind, Body, Soul. I need to get one of those clappy things. Yay! Hi! Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're the first person, you're the first one, because you were the first one where we really went bang, let's really dive into this.
And got into it, yeah.
So let's start at the beginning, shall we? Trace, tell us, who are you?
As introduced, I'm Tracey, Flourish, Mind, Body and Soul. We are sitting in my room at the moment. Who am I? I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a nana. I'm just an average Joe Blow, really. But I am a clinical reflexologist and a Reiki Master trainer as well as practitioner. I've got lots of little things under my belt, like I was doing massage, which I don't do anymore. But
Numerology?
yeah, with my numerology, bit of card reading, women's retreats is one of my big ones. My big focus is my reflexology and my women's retreats, which I absolutely love doing, and I love the outcome of them and the connections that are made. Bottom line, and I also do holistic counselling as well. So I just to try and put it all into one, it's a bit a holistic therapist, just bringing everything that is needed into a session for my clients to get the best outcome for their own healing journey.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And so currently we're sitting in, grab a cup of tea, sorry. We're sitting in your studio.
Yeah.
And this room has seen, a lot of journeys along the way, hasn't it? Seen a lot over the years. How long have you been practicing for?
10 years.
Wow.
Officially 10 years. I was doing a bit of stuff a few years before that, but that was my own journey, and my own journey, which was about 5 years, which led me all into this. So, but this, 10 years doing full time.
Yeah.
And having the guts really to go out there and just put myself out there and do it, but for very good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 10 years. So, but it's seen a lot of trainings, it's seen a lot of healing circles, it's seen a lot of meditations, it's seen a lot of clients, a lot of clients.
Yeah, definitely. Did you find that there was one turning point for you? Like there was a catalyst moment that may have happened, or what actually prompted you to get into this in the first place?
So that is a long story that I'll try and make short. I went through my own healing journey, it was a healing crisis, I guess, in 2005. I wasn't well, I didn't know why, started all these things. Basically life was spiraling for me, but in a mental health kind of way. So I went through a lot of anxiety, panic attacks. I just wasn't well, and I knew there was something wrong. I'd been to doctors and they were saying, it's depression, take this pill, take that pill, do this, go see that. I had a dear friend tap me on the shoulder one day and said, please come and see me. Little did I know she was doing energy healing. And I had a session with her, and that was it. It was like, this stuff works. So I started to seek out therapies that worked for me to help me on my journey. And yeah, I mean, it was a 5-year turnaround, but that my turning point was my own healing crisis. So a place I definitely don't want to go back to, but it's helped me understand on a whole other level my own clients and other people's journeys that they're going through, and having that patience, that understanding, and that compassion and care for the others, and to help others. So yeah, that was my drive. Then I went through, they say, you kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. It's the same in all of this. You go through a lot of modalities. There's so many things out there. You've got kinesiology, you've got Reiki, you've got pranic, you've got this, that, and the other thing. So I went through all the things to find out my little, what I call a network of people to work with, to help me. And I found those people. I found my people. So yeah, so that was my goal, was to then put it into action to help others.
And it's so important, isn't it? Like, find those people that you resonate with. I can't even emphasize enough how important that is. And it's okay to, you need to try different things, don't you? Because you don't know you don't know who you're going to meet. Nothing is ever a coincidence.
No.
Nothing ever happens that shouldn't happen.
Correct. And we're all on our own healing journey.
Yeah.
Two people aren't the same. People. What works for me is not going to work for you.
Exactly.
It might. Yeah. But something else might need tweaking. So this is it. That's why it's really important to find your people to help you go through yours. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I can't agree with that anymore, because that's certainly such a big thing. You've probably already kind of explained a bit more. What lights your fire? What's the thing that gets you going, that keeps you on this? I mean, because this can be a hard road. We both know this can be a very hard road.
It can be, because
what keeps you going?
What keeps me going is the results I see from clients, from people. Let's say when I do my women's retreats, and there's a lot of transformations happen in those. It's a group of ladies coming together that probably don't even know one another, but they find those connections, and I just sit back and I love those connections. But afterwards I get, I've had people come to me, ladies come to me after like a retreat and go, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I connected with this person, they shared their story and it's the same as mine. So that is one of them. And the other one is, just with clients meeting and who I meet, I guess transformations, really, when it comes down to it, it's just like seeing other women find their confidence, and they're, able to stand up and go, I'm learning what's right for me. Yeah. I can be me. It's okay to be me. Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you have any moments, or is there anything, you've had lots of years, and I'm putting you on the spot now because I actually didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but I didn't realise till now. But have you got any moments or things that come to mind where you go, oh man, that will stay with me forever? Like, whether it's an aha moment or even a shock moment where someone's really gone. You get those people where you just go, wow, that was a big reaction.
A reaction, because
any of it.
I see a lot of, I'll say, transformations and healing. Some of the, there's probably a few. So from one scope to the next, I guess in training, like when I very first started training Reiki sessions, we had a group of, it wasn't just ladies, I had two men, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I had a group, and we were doing a level 1, and we had a lady on the table. They were doing hands-on practice. Yeah. And I was watching, because everybody was off in pairs, and I was watching one of the couples there doing, and I was looking at all the facial expressions. Something's going on there. So I paid attention to these two ladies, and one of the ladies started having a spiritual reaction to the Reiki that was being given, and things started happening. It was literally like, this is going to sound off the chart. Sorry, guys.
This is why we're talking about this, because this shit's real. This stuff does happen, and
it does.
This is the eye roll moment, isn't it? Where you can just feel everyone sitting there going, "Oh, for fuck's sake," because that's what we get.
It happens.
But this is our world, so yeah.
It is my world.
Take a seat, because it's gonna get shit's getting real. Okay.
So, Yeah, she was on the table, and then she literally she started arching. She started, all this. And I was like, "What's going on?" So I stepped in to help because I got the eyes of, "What do I do?" And I was like, "That's okay. Let's just do some grounding. You ground at the feet, and I'll, Anyway, to cut a long story short, what had happened was, this lady, her grandmother was in spirit, and she had some unfinished business or words or something to do with the family, but she couldn't express it at the time, and her granddaughter was a safe space for her to come in and say, "Hey, I'm here, I'm okay, and I've got a few things to say," and we just got her through that. But it was a surprise to the whole group. Everybody just stood and went, "Oh my gosh, I didn't sign up for this." But all thankful for the experience, because again, when you're talking about experience, the hands-on experience, it's like I was there to help them navigate through that. Afterwards, admittedly, they all went outside and hugged a tree. I kid you not.
You
for the grounding, and we took a break.
Yeah.
But and the lady was fine.
Yeah. And
she was great, and she felt it, and she understood. And the poor person working on her, she was like, she'd had a bit of experience before, but it was just like it was a wall moment. And that was in my really early days of teaching. So that taught me a lesson as well. As like, you really do have to have your guard up. You need to be on guard. In one of my other standout moments was a beautiful client came in. I was actually doing case studies for some shamanic work, some crystal healing and stuff I was doing. And it was one of my clients, but she was one of my case studies. So we worked through a sequence with her. It's like, all blasé, thinking it's all going to be all right. Well, it was. We went through this, she had some realizations through it. We did the process and everything. And this lady, and if she's ever listening to this, it's like my heart still goes out, and I'm still so in awe of that moment for her, because she hadn't spoken to her father that had issues, moved away. It's like 10 or 15 years or something like that, just through stuff. Anyway, with what we did, a couple of weeks later, I got a phone call from her saying that she'd reconnected with her father. They'd been able to talk it out, and they were back in connection, and that family was coming back together. It was, for me, it was like, and that's what it's all about. It's about bringing where you can. It's about mending bridges. It's about bringing people together, but getting people to trust themselves and just be themselves.
And what you've just said, particularly the first story, those things are so important to be with a practitioner who actually knows what they're doing, because there's so many, come and do a 3-day session, you get your masters in Reiki. That for me still leaves me jaw dropped. Firstly, it's irresponsible.
But there is no experience in that.
No, and how, honestly, the first time, when you very first start, the first time you have someone on your table that starts having a meltdown and you've not had to deal with that before, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
And you're dealing with other people's lives here. So, it's emotions. And plus two, there are times when it triggers us. There's things when people come to see us, we're not expecting it, we're working on them, and something will come up and that will trigger your own experience or and have you found that?
Absolutely. That's where, and I've been asked the question before, it's like, how do you not get attached to, or how do you not take on? And it is hard. We have to work on ourselves as well. We put our own protection around us, and it's just bringing it back to the person that's on the table going, okay, we're going to park that for now, and then you've got your own shit to deal with, because it's about the person that's in front of you. But how do you deal with that? You just take yourself aside afterwards and kind of go, and it's like, I got to deal with it. Well, I was going to say, it might be a vino there, but no. But it can happen, and sometimes there's some really close to the bone kind of stuff, and especially if you've been through it yourself. It's hard not to get emotional. At the end of the day, look, we're human, we're all real. You're still there for them, but that's where the connection is as well, because you're sharing, and you can understand part of that story.
Yeah, definitely.
There's lots of stories you can't tap into and you wish you could, but some maybe you don't.
Given all of that, for you personally, I know you've got a caravan, and I love your caravan. It's pretty new.
My little home on wheels.
Yes. And you love the cruises.
I do. I might be known to go on a few.
Cruise queen. I don't know anyone who's...
I've actually got a cup now saying Cruise Queen. Just saying. And I've got some shoes that say Cruise Lady. Just saying. But
so
anyway.
I was just going to say, what refills your cup? But I know what it is because I know you, but just share, like, because, you know, everybody has to step out of their world occasionally.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you do?
So stepping on my, you know, if fun's allowed, I'm on the next cruise out of here. But
Yeah.
I do love my cruising because, you know, well, for any woman to understand, no cooking, no cleaning. You don't have to worry if you have a drink. You don't have to worry about driving. I mean, geez, like, you know, because when the husband drinks, it's all over. But cruising, definitely for that, just because I can literally unplug. I mean, these days you can have Wi-Fi, but everything just, your phone's off. You can turn everything off. So that's been over the years for the last, goodness me, 15 years, easy. That's been my complete out. Our other one is, yes, I've got the caravan sitting out there and we get out and we just go camping wherever. So they're the things that light me up. The other things that light me up though is spending quality time with my family.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of grandies now too, which I absolutely adore. But it just allows you to come back to yourself as well and remind you who you are and where you're at, and if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. And your grandies are still little.
Oh,
mine are grown. So when they grow, it's fantastic, but it's just not the same as when they're little, because they're so cute.
Oh, I know, they're still so cute.
And they still like you.
Yes. Yeah, they haven't formed a
Do you know what I mean? They're not, you know, they're not at that grunting stage, which...
I don't know, they learn early these days. No.
So, behind the scenes, what do you think people don't see about the reality of our work?
So part of what we've already discussed is those experiences that we have, you know, in the trainings, and that, you know, the work we put in, and that we can be larrikins and we can be us, but there is a side where, you know, you are present and it is a little bit serious. Not all the time. I try to keep it light, but and it's, I guess it's, you know, when that client goes and, you know, we cut cords with everything as such, you know, if for a want of a word, I don't know, but, you know, they leave. But I've got to say, I don't think there's one client that's left here that I've never thought about afterwards. And so like yourself, I'm a little bit passionate about my oils. It started off just a little course that a few oils came with, and now it's like deadly, almost embarrassing with the amount of oils I've got. But anyway, so I had a client just randomly find me on Google and came and wanted to try reflexology. So I'll do reflexology of the feet, also the face and the hands, but focusing in this instance just on the feet. I've got a few clients now that do running, and they do ultra runs, and, you know, like, and I'm not just talking about 10Ks and 20Ks, I'm talking about 200Ks and 300Ks. So they're just like epic. I don't know how they do it, but they do. Anyway, this lady was needing some help with her feet to get her. She's now become a long-time client and friend, and she runs insane amounts. But for her, it's paramount that she gets her maintenance on her feet. So and that's just gone down the line. There's a few that come and go. But because your feet are important, they carry you around. So when they're doing all these runs and that, their feet need looking after. So to give you a kind of an idea, reflexology is like if you have a full body massage.
One moment.
There's the foot. So when we're, you know, we work the whole of the foot. So as an idea, as a massage, if you go stick your foot up there, Kim. You know, when we're doing reflexology, we're working with the spine, which is this area through here, our lower back through here. Anything to do with the neck and the head is up around the toes. So there's so much going on, you know, shoulders over near the, you know, there's so much going on there. So when we're working the feet, they're running. So you imagine when you're running, you've got sore muscles all through your back. We can treat that all through the feet. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all connected from here all the way through. But when we're working with the feet, we'll work from the knee down and through and to help. So, you know, if they've got stuff going on, you know, even plantar fasciitis and things like that can happen because the feet are overworked. So this is what we do. You know, we work with organs, we work with the physical, the structure of the body for muscle aches and pains and anything else that comes along with runners. And quite often it's the toes and the feet because they smash them when they're running, and they'll have, you know, black toenails and toenails falling off and that, and we deal with them. So when you're talking about bringing the oils into helping with that, like I do what I do. Yeah. You know, I've got lotion there that I use for the feet, but I use a lot of ice blue, talking about the oils. I use frankincense, I use lavender, for different things, because they also come in and they've got ended up, they've got cuts and that. So I mean, lavender and Frankie is just like the bomb for healing for almost anything. The ice blue is great for all those muscles, aches and pains and that. So this is how we do maintenance. So basically it's a foot massage, but on a clinical level. So I'm a clinical reflexologist, and it's called remedial reflexology as well. So there's a lot around it. But yeah, so
talk me through, because I remember a time when I'd caught up with you and you were saying that the lady had been, and it was one of her first marathons, and the state her toes were in. Talk us through that, because that was like, if you hadn't have told me that didn't even, like, I was like, what? Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, and at some point, so that's all been documented, and it's actually in a video on my page somewhere under videos. You'll find it. Jen won't mind me mentioning her name, because she actually came in on an interview with me.
Oh, perfect.
When we were doing with the oils, we actually did one to a whole team, and then we had lots of other people join us because they were so intrigued. So so she had done her run. It's actually called Delirious. So they run Northcliffe in the southwest, to Albany, 357 kilometres or something it is. They do it over they leave Wednesday and cut off for Sunday, but she got in on Saturday, so she did a really good time. But anyway, so then she comes and sees me after, and it's like, so her feet are all banged up.
But what does that mean?
Banged up means their toes they're black from that constant hitting on the toes on their shoes.
Bruising in the toes.
Bruising, And then this particular one, the bruising had continued all the way up to her leg. And she had been, so up to her knee, so this part. And like, it was like, as we're doing it, it's just coming out. And like the whole process was probably about a week. But and she'd been told to do one protocol. And as soon as I said, I was like, no, we just chuck ice. I'm a big ice queen in here. And so in that moment, I had helichrysum, because it's good for bringing out bruising. So bottom line, if you can imagine, her whole bottom, the leg was all bruised. And so we put ice on it straight away. I put the helichrysum on. I did a normal treatment, but also worked very gently around, because it was a bit sore. Yeah. We worked around that, and I gave, she went home on to do that. I was seeing her weekly to help, and we actually took day by day photos actually within a couple of days to see how, and the oils and the treatment, the healing was just incredible to watch. So by banged up, it's been she's just bruising, and it's just that impact on the shins, the bones when you're doing
and their toenails fall off.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes. I've seen many toenails. They have competitions afterwards on their group page of like, okay, where's the toenail shots? And they have all these manky feet with toenails falling off and black, and then whoever fell and cut themselves or whatever they have. So through Jen, I had a few others come in and out. They don't like it when they're being told they have to rest. Yeah. So that's when they kind of drop off and go, I'm not going back to see her because I want to keep running. Because it's not an addiction, but it's a love, it's a passion. And it's a passion that comes also for some people with mental health. It's like, it's their stress relief. So
I'll, just so you know, I'm going to be putting all of Tracey's media contacts attaching this. They'll be down the bottom as well. So certainly jump into a web page or jump online and the social medias to be able to connect with that. I also want you to chat about the healing circles that we do.
So what it is, I call it a meditation healing circle. We do a bit of a meditation. We lead them into the space, and all that protection and all. And we come and we share. So you give and receive a healing. It's a mini one. It's for anybody, from beginners up to whatever level you're at, wherever we meet you where you're at. And because some people will get messages to pass on, which just a message can be healing. Some people won't get anything, but they'll say, I feel this or I feel that. But at the end of the day, we're actually just exchanging a healing in that circle. Lots of things. We have had funny times, we have had sad times, we have had what the times, but they've been a staple because a lot of people, they just love them and they keep coming back. So I do them once a month.
And for me, I don't come all the time, but the beauty that I've seen over the years is the fact that there's no there's no judgment.
No, there's not.
You know, everybody, and particularly for newbies, they come in going, oh, we don't actually know what this is about, what
And
you're
feeling
doing.
awkward.
And then all the random stuff starts coming out, and you can see their faces just being like, oh, and then they kind of start trusting their intuition or trusting what's coming through. Or even we just say it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And they'll say what they saw or felt, you know, in relation to somebody else, and that person actually goes, yeah, that's exactly right. So it's that real,
yeah,
so
look, it's a spiritual learning journey. It's learning to trust your own intuition and in a safe space where you can do that, and you can say whatever comes out. You might say, I don't know, but I just got brown. It's like, well, life's pretty shit at the moment. Or it can be, you know, I don't know, they might have just bought a new car that was brown. But anything. It's open slather, anything and anything, but it's a really good learning opportunity for anybody that's starting to explore their spiritual journey.
Yes. So talk me through the first time you birthed a drum.
I birthed
a drum. I always laugh when I hear that, but you know, when you made a drum.
Thank goodness I didn't actually birth it. It wasn't just about the fact of having a drum was cool.
Yeah. Because that is pretty cool.
I know, right? It is very cool.
Can we see it?
Can you see it? You can see it. It might be a bit flat because it's damp today, but we can see it. So this is the first one. Yeah, it is.
How did you know that when you just picked it up? Like literally, how could you tell?
It's damp in here.
But you picked it up and said yes it is. So what made you know to
the feel of the
leather?
leather? If you feel the leather.
Oh, it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold and it's a little bit pliable, so it's not meant to be, it's meant to be nice and tight. So when you hit it, it's flat as a tap. My other one will be a bit, what's the name? But so for this baby here is deer. Yeah. And when it's like this, I would put it in front of a fire or something and heat it up and it will work. So hence why I made another one. But so the process of this though was, for me, was very out there. I'd never done anything like this before. I was learning my own confidence. So I took myself to somebody that was doing them, Catherine Fewings at the time. She was birthing drums, so I went out there, didn't know anybody out there. Just I needed to do it for myself because I had to start. I was like, you know, I don't know. It's like, anyway,
just got to start sometimes.
You just got to start.
And there's no words as to why.
I just needed to do it for myself. Like I've got a few things that I've done, and I've just taken myself off and done that because I just need to. So birthing this was really interesting. It was fun, but it was the connection you have. You know, it's about honouring this deer as well for allowing us. It was all sourced ethically and all that sort of stuff because there's a lot of that. But inside there's little tokens, like there's the infinity sign in here, and I've written. So back then there's a tree of life in there.
Oh, you've actually written it on the. Oh, I see. You've drawn pictures on the inside of the wood.
Yes, so there are in the side there. There are. Okay. So that one was just pictures, and that was all. So so I went through this one. So that was a good day. We made our own beater. Yeah. But I like that. As I say, it's flat. It's just So we did that. So this one's the oldest one. This one here I did.
This one is my favourite one.
2 years ago. So you can see on the back here, you can see how it's all, I've got my beads in there. So this one was more, so obviously I'm a fair way down on my spiritual journey, and I've added all the crystals in here for the chakras, the colour, because I love it. I've also got stuff you can't see, but it's in there. I've got feathers in there, and I've got a few words, calm and rest. I've got my chakras in there. I've got trust in me. And above and below is very something I'm very connected to at the moment. Being connected above and below. So this one has a purple beater because I like purple, in case you didn't guess. And this one here is beautiful. It's just, and the vibration, she is beautiful.
I can feel that here, like it.
Yeah, the connection I had with this was like I was holding my own child. It was, and I feel that the emotion that came with this one was really. Blind Cat Creative is the lady that I went and did this one through. Okay. And but the connection to this one was like, I want to actually say it was more special, but I think that's because of where I'm at now in my journey. Because I've grown
2 years ago you made this?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it would be. Yeah. So this was very much. Yeah. just that next level for me.
Yeah.
So I went on to do my drums.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I had a connection with, I know you haven't asked, but I love this.
That's all right. You go for it.
The other thing I really wanted to do, because I very much enjoy working with my hands.
I actually forgot that you made this.
So this here, I went and took myself off to a 3-day course and made myself a dream harp. And oh my lordy, I just love it. So it's made from camphor wood. So I'll put the bag down there.
Wow.
So this one here, I made this from woe to go. So you can see, I even drew the dolphin. I'm so proud.
Bloody hell, did you do that?
Have you never seen it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I carved the dolphin out. It's got an amethyst in there for the eye. Amethyst and rose quartz, because that's where I was drawn to at the time.
Wow.
So she plays.
Oh,
and then on the back
beautiful.
I've got my healing connection. So there I've got the infinity again, because I'm really... I think most spiritual.
Yeah.
So camphor laurel, made in 2020. That's when I did it.
Right.
From a lovely man down in Hamilton Hill, up near
Okay.
Spearwood. He does them. He still does them, so you can always get in touch with him. And the way to use them. So we went into full ceremony with this. We did a meditation. We connected to the wood. And as we carved it, the whole. So you'll use them like so. You're holding it. Hang on, I'll just get here. You're holding it to your chest, and you're literally just, so you can hear but you actually just connect with the wood and the tune. So there are notes, and you can learn tunes for them, but it's also intuition. And just going, but I just love it. I just love the fact that it was
That is beautiful.
So this
piece.
is my baby.
It's actually a real piece of art. Aside from being a musical instrument, it is an art piece, isn't it?
So I'm very much into my musical stuff.
Yeah.
So yes.
All the stuff. I just want to pinpoint too, or highlight, if anyone who's looking at this, you can see the feathers behind us. That was what was at one retreat. So if you ever go to Tracey's retreats, or if you're interested in them, that's one of the artworks that people made at the retreat.
Yeah.
Themselves.
Yes, well, I made that one, but they all made a different variety of their own. So the retreats, I do a lot of intuitive art and intuitive craft.
Yeah.
So that was just one piece that we did, and it was amazing. It took us most of the day, but it was such a fun thing to do. But and having that connection, for me, the connection there is all because I like rainbow colours, hence my logo and everything's in that. But and having the chakras, so having the feathers in here, and they've all got a crystal in them. They've all got the chakra crystal in them there. So that's just one of them. The other one I do, intuitive art, is literally take them all through a meditation. They've got a blank canvas in front of them, and when they come out the other side, it's just there's no thought process. It's just put whatever onto this canvas, and then we read them after, and that's can be very enlightening and interesting as well.
And I know the one retreat that I went on, we made our own cards.
They're there on the
can I grab them?
Yes, you can, underneath that selenite.
So we actually, on the retreat that I went to,
I surprised them with this tart. They had no idea what they were getting.
We had to do this. Oh shit, that's what I made that.
Well,
That was mine.
Well, you better show them.
We're not artists, right? But this was one of my bring in the day, and it's supposed to be a little willy wagtail. That was mine. So Tracey actually all of us had to do drawings, and she made them into a deck of cards, which is fantastic. It's like, these are fantastic intuitive cards. There's just so many. Look, we were all Jackson Pollock was with us on the day.
Yep.
Look at that.
Each card that they
Not
drew
really,
was
that's
a task I gave them that they had to create something.
That beautiful butterfly.
Yeah.
Little eye. So some people were very artsy and had beautiful drawings. Other of us, they were more challenged. We're like kindergarten crayon jobs. So anyway, so you just don't know what you're going to experience. And those you come away, it's always great fun, but also enlightening. So peaceful and relaxing. All right. I may have asked you this, but tell me if I have. So behind the scenes, what do you think people don't see? Did I ask you that one? Yeah, I did.
You did.
Recap. I forgot.
Recap what they don't see. is people see you as a Reiki practitioner or a reflexologist, but they don't see what actually is going on in there, like the prep for it, the protocol, I guess. I mean, it's all confidentiality is important as well. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and and like I said, the hands-on experience that you get. So when I'm doing training courses, because I train Reiki, I train reflexology. We do crystal workshops, we do chakra, we do the whole thing. But it's unless you actually attend those, you don't actually see obviously what goes on, but can happen in. It's not always airy fairy. Stuff happens, but most of it is. Yeah. Most of it is. I mean, I enjoy all of it. So.
It's good fun, but it's serious. Like, and we're very serious about our jobs. Like, we're very serious about it. So we can take the piss and muck around, but if you come for one, don't come for us, because you'll be on the list.
Oh my gosh, it's creating a hit list.
No, but I mean, it is. We're very serious. You're very conscientious. It is a bit where you have to be responsible. We're dealing with people. We're dealing 100%. With emotions. It's very we don't take this job lightly.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, and I just every single person that comes through the door I work with, I've got respect for them. Yeah. And you're mindful all the time of their needs, because they're coming to see you.
For a safe space.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's 100%. As I said, this was all built on my own experiences and what I needed at the time that I've passed on to my own clients, and create that safe space. So.
But you also had the wherewithal to go and actually get trained by people who had life experience.
Yeah,
this isn't just stuff that we pull out of a Weet-Bix box. No. It's not like that any of us have just gone along and gone, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to do this today. I'm just going to start telling people what to do with their life. You need to have somebody who can support you through that.
Yeah, well, and I've also and talking about that and having that support is, I belong to, I have associations that I answer to as well, because I am always learning to keep up, for the benefit of my clients, but learning how to help them forever. I've got a constant tap that I can tap into for information. So I'm answering to associations. I've got memberships. I've got all that I need to cover, my insurance, everything like that. It's all there. People think, you do that, I actually do get people. So I've got a new client form, and they fill that out, and some people go, oh, do I need that just for a Reiki healing? It's like, well, yeah, you do, because anything can happen. It's a healing session, but for lots of different reasons, like anything these days, you've got your butt covered. But I also like to know that I've had the experience to be able to pass that on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've spent many hours, and my reflexology one was 12 months. Your Reiki ones, like, I've done them over weekends, and 6 months. I mean, one of them I took 4 or 5 years between the two, just because I was getting experience, and I was still facing my own journey that I needed to deal with me first before I could deal with others. But anyway, that's a whole thing.
Yeah. So with all of that said, how do you actually protect yourself? Because we need to protect our own energy. It's easy to give out, but recharging our batteries and protecting yourself in those moments, what do you do? Do you have a process? Do you have a ritual? Or
I used to. Now, in all honesty, now I just walk in here, and it's a safe space. Yeah. It's a safe space for me. It's a safe space for anybody that comes in here. But if you're talking like a protocol, I've always put myself in a white light, the bubble of white light of protection. Yeah. Everybody has their own way of doing it. I've got selenite everywhere in here. If you don't know what selenite is, it's basically a vacuum cleaner for energy. And
I was just looking at your piece up there, actually.
Yeah, I've got a piece here. I've got a tower there. They're all so. That's one of my selenite rods, but they're everywhere. They're just everywhere. So I do that, I put this room, actually I put my whole property under a protection, like a bubble of protection with crystals, with energy. Yeah, so I used to use incense, but I don't use that anymore because I just don't like it anymore. Yeah. I just use my oils and energy.
Yeah. So if we're looking at talking about, hopefully there'll be people here who are watching who've never experienced this stuff before. So what's one thing that you would say to someone, if you could speak directly to someone and just kind of sum it up, what would you say to them someone who's quietly struggling?
Yeah, so you've got to be gentle with that. And if somebody's willing to open up to you and talk to you, then what I would say to them is you offer suggestions of what they could do to help, or just talk, and then it'd be if they come to me specifically, it's like, okay, let's have a chat, let's see maybe how I can help you. And one thing I did many years ago, it's if I can't help you the way I think I can, or the way you need, I will source or move them on to play areas that can. I've done that the whole time because I believe in a lot of modalities myself. Like I love kinesiology. It's not all just about healing. It's well, it is, but it's not. So somebody that's quietly struggling, it's like, well, okay, let's have a chat, let's see what you need, and how we can help, or how we can guide, but for anybody that's willing to open up or even approach you, I take that very seriously.
And if there's a small practice or mindset shift that you would wish everyone would try just once, even if they have no interest in it, if you could just convince someone to say, hey, well, just try this, what would that be?
Oh, wow. There's a few things that I guess come to it. Is it just one thing? I don't know.
Oh, no, but you know what? When you're talking to a lay person, and if we talk together, we can go into our jargon. But it's like, think about if you walked up to yourself right at the beginning, what's the one little tip you would say to yourself to say, okay, let's just, what do you think that would be?
Well, the first thing would be trust yourself and go with your gut, and always trust that gut and what you feel like you need and you require in that, and mindset. Be positive. Don't let anybody steal your thunder or steal your light, as they say. Always shine your light and find that light, find that spark in yourself to know to move forward. As modality ways, if somebody was coming to me, what would I say? Do you know, a lot of people, because they don't know much about reflexology, so the one thing I would actually say, I actually encourage, let's start with reflexology. Let's see, providing they like you to touch their feet. If not, we'll go for a healing. But because in reflexology, I'm not just doing reflexology, I'm bringing all my tools into that reflexology session. So for me, if somebody came to me, it's like, okay, let's try a reflexology session and let's chat. So do a consult, let's chat, see what you need, and let's do, and it all comes into it. So it depends where they're at. But
and if we talk in ages to come and history, we want to leave a legacy for you, what do you hope that your work leaves behind in the hearts of people that you help?
I would hope that every person I've connected with, I have helped. And if I can help even just one person a day, if I've helped them find their self or find their journey, whether it be with me or somebody else, but just know that I've empowered them, I don't know, empowered them to be their own authentic self.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
If and empowered them to go on and explore a journey for themselves.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Because that's really all we can all ask for. Lighting that fire within, helping someone to believe that they're allowed to have that fire in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
to go and find that joy. You don't have to be. You don't have to be following the sheep.
No.
Definitely step outside the box. It's more fun. But be your own. Find what works for you, and it might be a few things. It's just but be you.
Yeah.
And don't allow other people to tear you down.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice.
Believe in yourself, and
So we're just about to wrap up, but is there anything that you would like to share? If you don't, it's fine. Nothing?
I don't know. I think we've covered quite a bit. Hey,
we have, which has been quite good.
It is. But if you are interested in coming to any of the retreats, they are. I do them dwelling up. I do them down south in down in the Ferguson Valley. So a few different places I use. Please get in touch. I would love to have a chat.
What is the best way for people? I know that it's all going to be in the comments down below once this drops, but what is the best way for people to contact you? Do you have a preferred method of contact?
Any which way that works, but no. If you can DM me on my socials, that comes directly to me, and I'll see that because I get my notifications. Or there will be a phone number. Feel free to text me, and I'll get back to you. There is an email address. I do look at all of them all the time. Yeah. So because I've got constantly people doing bookings online and stuff as well. So DM is a really easy way for people to get in touch. So DM or text, I think. Yeah.
Perfect.
So it comes straight to me, then I won't miss it. No, I don't. That's only ever happened a couple of times.
Well, thank you. Oh
no, thank you.
It's been actually really good. We've been laughing all morning thinking, how the hell are we going to do this? But no, I'm so pleased and honoured that you were happy to be part of my first, particularly to be the first.
Oh, I'm honoured.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll definitely be putting this out there, but also good luck with everything moving forward.
Thank you. And
I look forward to the new modality that I know has been sitting in the pipelines for a while now. But just
4 years?
We've been waiting for this to break. So this is a gentle nudge to dress.
Yes. So adding anything else here, we are signing off now. But I have created my own modality. It's called Flourish Mind, Body, Soul Healing. It incorporates it incorporates all the healing that I've done with the Reiki and stuff, but it also incorporates reflexology. So I brought the two together using zones. We've got in reflexology we call them zones. You've got meridians, you've got zones, and so I'll bring those together in a healing modality for something a little bit extra and just what I do, because a lot of people ask me what I do in my healings and how do you know that and how do you get that result. Yeah. So I actually created that about 4 years ago. Everything's sitting here waiting to go. When I did first launch it though, we went into COVID, so good old COVID. But I do have, I've got charts and things all set up. So yes, that's coming. It's a thing, and yes, she's been nudging me. So.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Watch this space.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. I just look forward to seeing everybody again. Have a great day and be good to yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Bye.
Bye.